Why being alone today can be considered a superpower. That's the topic I want to talk about in this video because I see a lot of other creators online talking about aloneness and loneliness, but most importantly, what it comes down to is solitude, because we can replace that word alone with the word solitude. And solitude, and being able to sit in solitude or be in solitude, is a superpower. A lot of people these days confuse solitude with loneliness, and there is a huge difference. They look at you, if you are someone who enjoys solitude, as someone that is weird. Why don't you go out into society? Why don't you socialize? Why don't you go and make some new friends? Why don't you hang around with the friends you already have? Why don't you hang around with family, etc., etc.? They look at you as if you have some kind of weird phenomenon attached to you. But that is far from the truth. Solitude is a superpower. With solitude, there is silence, a very powerful silence. And within that silence, you can receive clarity, understanding, a greater sense of awareness, whether it be about something going on in the world, a personal experience that you may be going through, or even just that clarity, understanding, and greater sense of awareness about your true self. That pure awareness that is, that beingness. Solitude is an awesome tool in that regard. There's nothing weird about it. And when it really comes down to it, the opinions of others don't even matter anyway. They can think of you however they want to think about you. It shouldn't affect you. So don't confuse solitude with loneliness. These days, society is all about noise, whether it be you constantly being on your mobile phone, social media, notifications going off all the time, whether it be just the nonsense, the drama, and the chaos of the outside world. That's what this reality, so to speak, likes, and it always pushes it. It tries to feed it to you. This reality, this society, this narrative, call it what you will, it fears silence, because silence brings on a strength within the self. Silence opens the mind, so to speak. It opens your eyes. It brings you to a greater sense of awareness. And a lot of people are venturing out into solitude and time alone. Because why would they want to deal with the constant noise and distractions and nonsense and garbage going on? They would rather have that silence. They would rather sit with themselves. And for a lot of people, it is hard to sit with themselves, to be in their own company. That's perfectly fine. Not everyone can do it. But not everyone authentically tries to do it. That's what it's about as well. Some people can't sit on a couch for an hour in their own company. They either have to have a movie on, to be reading a book, have some kind of distraction. Others can simply just sit and be. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And there's nothing wrong with it. Solitude is a good thing. And the more that people actually experience that solitude and sitting with themselves, learning about themselves, the better. The difference between loneliness and solitude is loneliness can bring on sadness, depression, anxiety, crazy thoughts, a willingness to just not even want to exist sometimes. You're that lonely, you just want to give up. With solitude, there is a sense of being comfortable with the self. A sense of being comfortable in your own company. A sense of enjoyment of just going out and experiencing things by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing weird about that. It is weird to those who can't comprehend even doing that, but that's on them. Solitude is a must, because silence is a must. Within that is the pause. And that pause brings you to your authentic being. It brings you to a state of inner peace. That's what solitude does. And that's why it's a superpower. Once again, nothing wrong with it. You can go and hang out with your friends whenever you want. I'm not saying to distance yourself completely and wholeheartedly from everybody and the world. If that's what you wish to do, so be it. That's your choice. You can have your times for solitude to get that superpower, that strength within you, and also have times to socialize. It's a balance. Sometimes that balance weighs in the favor of solitude for some people. Sometimes it's perfectly even. But don't ever think of solitude as being alone or being in loneliness, in a state of loneliness. With loneliness, it's easier to be manipulated as well. Because unfortunately, in loneliness, you're at a weaker state of being. And people will take advantage of that. And they will manipulate you. When you're comfortable in your own presence, in your own state of being, in your own company, when you have that comfort level through solitude and silence, you are very hard to manipulate. Very, very hard. I want you to interpret that part as you wish, those last few sentences. So I guess that's what I wanted to say in this video, because I've seen a lot of it online about solitude, about people loving being by themselves, enjoying life, thriving, just generally happy, that inner peace. And as I said, to some that might be a little bit weird, because perhaps we've been programmed or conditioned to always be with someone, or to have some kind of company, to be socializing. I want you to interpret this message in this video as you wish, and see what comes through to you naturally. Feel free to leave a comment if you wish on your thoughts, what you think about what I've said. Let me know, are you somebody that enjoys solitude as well? I love solitude. And then there are times where I like to socialize. But for me, The solitude in this instance outweighs the socializing. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts. With that being said, wherever you are, I hope you have an awesome day or an awesome night, and I'll talk to you again soon.